All right, guys, so it seems that there have been some rumors going around that everyone's favorite Pokemon with Guns game, Palworld, is going to be switching to a live service game. And of course, these rumors only got worse after a recent interview with Pocket Pair CEO Takuro Mizube went out on ASCII that hinted that the game could go free to play in order to extend its lifespan. Well, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gruzbee and the Catgirl mascot is Fumi-chan. We're here to talk gaming news updates and all the cringe we possibly can. And today we're talking more Palworld. So this interview went out on the 11th from ASCII, which is a Japanese, I think it's a gaming news website. And it talked about the future of Palworld, and there was a lot of stuff that was talked about in it. And at some point, they do mention the possibility of Palworld going free to play or going into a live service game. And I mean, obviously, you know, Palworld at its base, at its core, has always been a pay to play game. But you know, the company no doubt looked into this early in its development. You know, what kind of game we're going to do here? We're going to do live service. We're going to do buy to play, pay to play. And, you know, and I'm sure someone somewhere said, hey, should we turn Palworld into a live service game? Someone is always going to bring this up when they're in the room, right? So in this article, it did mention the possibility and the complications of going free to play. Now, that's not to say that other games have not done this and done it successfully. I mean, I think PUBG is free to play, and I know Fall Guys went free to play, but these games have something that Palworld doesn't really have, and that's competitive. These are both competitive games. And the last I checked, Palworld wasn't so much a competitive focused game. So the idea of a free-to-play version of Palworld and Palworld as a live service game probably didn't go over very well. And there's a lot of conversation suddenly happening over that. So the studio made a post on Twitter X to clarify regarding the future of Palworld. And this is what they said. We are not changing our game's business model. It will remain buy to play and not free to play or game as a service. Recently, an article was published in which we discussed the possible future direction of Palworld and ideas for continuing the game for a long time. In fact, this interview was conducted several months ago. At that time, we were still considering the best way forward for Palworld to create a long-lasting game that continues to grow. We're still discussing this internally, as it is quite challenging to find the ideal path, but we've already decided that the free-to-play or game-as-a-service approach is not suitable for us. Palworld was never designed with that model in mind, and it would require too much work to adapt the game at this point. Additionally, we're very aware that this just isn't what our players want, and we always put our players first. We're still considering skins and DLC for Palworld in the future as a means to support development, but we will discuss this with you all again as we get closer to that point. For now, our priority remains making Palworld the best game possible. We apologize for any concern this may have caused, and we hope this clarifies our position. Thank you for your continued support of Palworld. So yeah, this definitely sparked some discussion. The tweet was met with a lot of praise from the comments, as most of the players expressed that a move toward free-to-play would be the wrong direction, and that it would probably hurt the game more than it would help it. I'm just curious as to know why it took so long for an old interview to finally get posted on the ASCII website. Was it just something they were sitting on and they were like, hey, we need something for today. What do you got? Oh, I got this old interview. Maybe we can post that. I have no clue. All I know is bad timing. Now, as for paid content, I think it isn't an unreasonable move by most companies, so long as the transactions, you know, and as long as the transactions and the content isn't predatory. Things like skins and pre-made bases, accessories, expansions, these are reasonable. But once it goes in the direction of like PAL XP boosts or buying weapons, buying PAL ball bundles, then you're dangling a quick fix item at the players and it loses all replay relevance. You know, what's the point in grinding to level up when you can just buy your way to a level up? What would be the point of crafting items when you could just buy them from the shop? So now, speaking entirely for myself, I don't think that free-to-play and Palworld would make a good fit. I mean, if Palworld were more of a competitive game where, say, you took on other PAL trainers and you fought them in a brutal death match, if that was the sole focus of Palworld and it was an online multiplayer game to that extent, maybe I could see this, but it would have had to have been implemented way sooner than now. At this point, I think it's too late to become a free-to-play game. I'm glad that Pocket Pair isn't entertaining that idea, and I'm actually glad that they're considering the players, in those decision-making processes. Now, I want to turn the question over to you. What are your thoughts on all of this? Should Palworld introduce some kind of a shop for cosmetics? Should they go free to play? Let me know. Head to the comments and let's get some conversation going. Guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. And of course, if you are new here, then be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Palworld gaming news and updates, as well as other news and updates on other video games. Links to my socials are in the description down below. Have an amazing day, everyone. Keep being awesome, and I will see you all in the next video.